threading one more time because I think it's worth showing you this as many times as you need to see it. Remember that your embroidery floss is several pieces of thread all woven together. So if you use this whole thing for one part, you might run out of thread. So don't do that. What you do want to do is separate out one of these threads, hold it, and then gently pull it out of the rest of the threads by just gently pulling until it separates out. I need to get a little more straightened out here. I'm going to take all my cut pieces and my pattern pieces and set them aside because they are kind of in the way right now. Okay. When I get ready to thread a needle, I get the end of the thread very close to the tips of my fingers. So this is my thread end. And you can see when I get kind of close up to it that it has kind of a frayed end. So that little end that I'm going to be trying to get through the needle, I want to snip it off so that it's just as small as it possibly could be. I'm going to use black string this time because I have this white. You're going to use something that works for you. You want to use a contrasting color, which means that it's either darker or lighter than your color. It's not the same and it's not going to blend in because the stitches that we're going to make today, I want you guys to be able to see. I'm using black against this white. So it really is up to you which color you use. So the easiest, fastest way to get your needle threaded in a double strand is just thread one strand of the thread through your needle and then meet the ends. That means find the two ends of the thread like this, meet them, and then that's going to be where you tie your knot because that creates this nice double strand of embroidery floss. Okay, here's the technique on tying the knot one more time. If you're a lefty instead of a righty, hold the end of the string between your finger and thumb. Okay, here comes Gabe. Any of the three that you gave, yeah, any of the three. And because we're going to be creating the facial features, I would like you to use a contrasting color, which means maybe not the body color. So here's the knot one more time. Hold the end of your threads between your finger and thumb. Take this long end of the thread and wrap it around your finger once. So then take your thumb and twist those two strings together so it makes a little twist, and then hold the twist between your finger and thumb while you pull the long end, and that's what creates your little knot. You can use the black string, yes. Okay, so the first stitch that we are going to practice today is called the whip stitch. Whip, like whip. We're going to use this little scrap to practice on. So whip stitch is when you're going to take two pieces of fabric and you're going to bind them together somehow. So the best way for me to demonstrate this is take your scrap and match up two edges. Any two edges, like this edge will work. And the idea is that we're going to make these two edges sewn together. And the stitch is pretty easy to do. It's pretty basic. So I'm going to show you how to do it just on my little sample here, my little scraps. The whip stitch is this. You're going to come up through both layers. Pull your needle, your thread all the way through until the knot comes up on the back side. Now the whip stitch actually, the thread comes over the two raw edges. See how it's coming up from one side, and then I'm having the thread come down over that edge, and then I'm going to put the needle back in through the bottom. So this creates this nice little loop along the edge of the two pieces of fabric in order to bind them together. So as I pull the thread, you're going to start to see that a stitch lays right on those edges. That's your first whip stitch. So in order to make the second one, we're going to bring our needle back down to the bottom and push through again. And you see that as this thread is being pulled through, it creates that loop on the edge. And that's what you're looking for. This is the typical whip stitch. Now, the smaller and the closer together you make these whip stitches, the tinier these little stitches will look. I am making mine kind of big so that you can really see it well. But the objective for most people is to hide the stitches by making them small. I am simply showing you a technique. Okay, in through one side, out through the other, constant. In through one side, out through the other. And you always just go in through the same side each and every time. So if you started going in through the bottom, always go in through the bottom. You're pulling that needle and thread in the same direction each time. So going in through the bottom, pulling out through the top, tightening that stitch. And this is what we end up with, is a whip stitch. Perfect, Joey. Look at that. You're already a pro. That means that you're going to do excellent when we get to the part where we start stitching our cupcake together. So let me see other people's whip stitch.
Can I do it like this?
Okay, that's not a whip stitch. That is a back and forth in and out stitch. That's actually called a running stitch. So try again there, Abraham. It's not a bad thing what you just did, just not the technique I'm showing. Make your thread go over the two edges, Abraham. Look, go in through one side and out through the other so that the thread wraps around the edge, around and around, almost like a spiral. You can imagine that the thread is being a spiral through the edge of the fabric there. And then look, when you get down to the end, if you open it up, it's like you've made these two pieces kind of sewn together. Cool, right? So how do you make a knot? So typically the knot would not be on the outside of your work. You want to hide that on the inside of your work, like in there. So let's practice that real quick. If you've made these whip stitches on the outside and you want this knot to be on the inside, just push your needle through so that it comes out on the inside. See that? So then you can make a little knot on the inside and nobody will see it. It's a secret. It's a secret. So just grab a already existing stitch, pull your thread through so that it makes a little loop, and then with your needle, go through that loop, and that's what's going to make your knot. You're like making a single knot, pull it gently towards the fabric until it knots. If you want to make it extra strong, do it one more time. That's a double knot. So I'm just pulling it through until I have a tiny loop. Put my needle through one of the little loopholes. Tighten it gently. And now snip it. And that is on the inside of your work so that your outside of your work looks clean and the knots are on the inside. Haha. Whip stitch. So I'm going to do it another time, whip stitch one more time, because this is really all I want you to be practicing on today is whip stitch, because the whip stitch is one of the main stitches that we learn for this project. So here, I'm just matching two edges up, taking my needle and thread, tying a knot in the end of the thread. So let's try it from the inside now. So we've got it all nice and clean on this edge. Go on the inside and go through once so that your knot lands on the inside of your work. See that? It's hidden. And now you can close the edge to hide your knot on the inside. Get in there, you. But now when you pinch these edges, you see that my thread's coming out one side and I'm gonna loop it back to the other side and go through both layers so that the next stitch is gonna be on this edge. Abraham, see that? Here's my raw edges. I'm going to go over the edge with my thread. I'm not going down through. I'm actually bringing the thread over to the other side and then poking my needle through both layers like that. And then when I pull it through, the thread loops over the edge like that. Bring it back down to the side, poke my needle through both sides, pull it through, pull my needle back over. You see, it's just repeating the same direction. It's like when you do this stitch, you have to make sure the thread is going in this direction, you know, where it comes from one piece of fabric over to the other side. Okay, show me now some whip stitching. Show me your whip stitching if you're working on whip stitching. Abraham, that's looking better. See how it comes over the edge like that? That's better. It's perfect. Who else has got some? Joey's got, yeah, Joey, you're the whip stitch king right now. Yep, you got it. So if you feel comfortable with this whip stitch, then you're good to go for today. And if you're not yet comfortable with it, keep practicing, because the more and more and more you do this practice, the easier it's going to come to you. You know, it's going to become easy for you as you practice. This is not like, you know, the piano where you have to practice different key positions. It's almost like just this nice fluid motion where you're just repeating the same process and same direction again and again. I have quite a few lessons recorded. However, Mrs. Frost, all my old recordings are done on my old camera, which was not a good camera. So today I am recording this session, and I will post this video in our classroom stream, but it takes some time because YouTube, it doesn't do it quickly. They take a little time. So it could be tomorrow before this is posted, but I'll be working on it today. As soon as YouTube allows me to edit the video so that it's not a super long session with a bunch of chit chat, because that's what I'll do is just do a video that shows the technique. And then you guys, you students, guys and gals, guys and girls, can look at the video recording of it. Okay, so here I've gone the whole stretch of this side now. Look at what's happening. It's like it's created a little pocket, you know, and if you have a good imagination, you can imagine how we are going to be creating a little pocket with our pieces that we will stuff with our fluffy stuff, you know. So this is how we bind the edges of our fabrics together with a whip stitch. Okay, let me show you one last time how to do this, the knotting on the inside. So you're done with that last stitch. Loop it over once and go through to the middle this time so that your stitch is hidden on the inside of your work. Then just go underneath one of your already existing stitches. Make a little loop out of your thread there. And then go ahead and put your needle tip through the loop and pull it gently tight. And there's your knot. Again, if you'd like to make a double knot because you want it to really be secure, that's a lot of people will do that just automatically. Do a double knot to secure your work. Create a little loop through the stitch. Put your needle through the loop. Pull it gently towards the fabric until it stops, and then let's snip that. And that's how you're going to do the whip stitch. Whip stitching is super fun and easy. It's not something that we do for an invisible stitch. It's actually supposed to be visible. And I want to show you a finished project so you can see what those stitches look like. When we assemble our cupcake, you can see that my whip stitches are all visible all the way around. So this is exactly the stitch that we'll be assembling these pieces with. So if you can imagine that this is your cupcake bottom, and imagine that this is your cupcake middle. This big circle is your cupcake top. And this is your frosting, and that is how we are going to assemble this with whip stitches. All right, so you could right now pretend, put your cupcake together. Pretend this. So you're going to notice right away that the top is way bigger than the ring around the middle, and the reason why is so that you can make it look like a muffin top, so it's puffy. Okay, so this piece is actually going to be stitched onto the top, and then this one will be stitched on top of that. Okay, so this is our fake cupcake made out of the little pieces that we cut out. I want you guys to discover how this is being assembled, because once you learn how to do this, it's like you can make anything. You can really make anything. Okay,